worst team to win the league?
It's a shout.
If you're thinking of picking a team of the season and you pick a front four, the Arsenal team gets in that. Look at previous champions. You think Liverpool's forward's brilliant.
You put Saka
brilliant.
In, wouldn't you?
Possibly the only one, Saka. Yeah, possibly the only one. And I don't think he's been brilliant. I don't think he's scored that many goals this year or assists.
Did you see that yesterday? The top goal scorers for Arsenal, the third in their list is own goals.
Yeah.
No.
It was amazing yesterday. Did you see the stats as well on Sky, which they did, saying about the least amount of goals the top scorers scored? I was surprised at that. It's like 14, 15.
There's one here.
You go back to our team, our manager's thinking the front four players 80 goals.
Arsenal, no goals from open play in 300 minutes.
Yeah.
That isn't a great stat, but I don't want to focus on the great stat. Would you make of the claim it's the worst team ever, and because none of their front players will get into the team of the year?
I think the whole none of their players will get into the team of the year. I think that's fugazi, to be honest, because Liverpool always had players in the team of the year. Look, we had a period where City were winning the league, and we as Liverpool fans and some other pundits would go, Alisson's best goalkeeper, Trent's best right back, Robbo's best left back, Virgil best centre back, Fabinho best DM, Salah best right winger, Mane best left winger. But it's still City who won the league, right? Because ultimately it's the team that wins the league, not the individuals and the squad and the manager. Now, in terms of them being the worst winners, I mean, who cares? Like, that's like, that would be like me saying whoever wins the 100 meters now, if they don't win it if they win it, but they win it in a lesser time than Bolt or previous winners, they're like, yeah, but he's not a great. No, he's won the Olympics.
Yeah,
he won the Olympic 100 meter gold medal. Like, who cares? And again,
AJ, you know you're world champion, but you wouldn't have beaten Muhammad Ali, so it ain't real.
Yeah, he's still world champion. Yeah, we can always do this whole ranking thing, but again, times, eras, they all are contextualized as well when it comes to this debate, because you could arguably say Man City walked the Premier League in any era. Does that mean that Man United's teams when they were dominating are rubbish? No, it just means football's evolved. At the moment, football's evolved in a direction that not a lot of people find attractive in terms of watching and all of that. But ultimately, if football's evolved to a point where Arsenal are the only team that can deal with the adaptation, then they're the best team right now, and it is what it is. The whole no goals in 300 minutes from open play, cool, fair enough, not a great stat. But if I'm not mistaken, Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City are probably the three teams that come up against the low block more than any other team. Surely, and look, I hate saying this because I don't want Arsenal to win the league, because loads of my friends and family are Arsenal fans, and I'm going to get it for the whole summer because I've been bantering them for years. But if I'm going to take my Liverpool hat off here, surely scoring set pieces is one way to break down a low block, no? Because if you're playing football, Terry, again, if you're playing against a team that's employing a low block, one thing they're going to do is give away set pieces, whether that be free kicks or corners or throw-ins. If Arsenal are the best at taking corners, that's not their fault. That's the rest of the league's fault. Bro, we played Bournemouth the other day. A stat came up, Terry, at the beginning of the game. And I think by the end of the game, it was something like we had 130 corners this season so far in the Premier League. We've scored 2 goals from 130 corners. But that is abysmal in any level of football. My kids play football. If their team had scored 2 out of 130, that's abysmal. So if Arsenal are going out there and they're blowing every team away with regards to set pieces, something that is coached, by the way, on the training field, why are they not getting credit for it?
Well, this year, this shows on the I forget if the X or the Y is the up or the down. I've been out of school for so long, but
X is across.
So the Y axle, you can see that is how low teams sit against you. The X axis is how high your defensive line is. Does that make sense, right? Yeah. So Arsenal are playing with the highest defensive line and against the lowest blocks. Compared to everybody else, it's a country mile. Yet they're the team that's attacked for the football in the Premier League being boring, when in fact the guilty parties are kind of everybody else who are sitting deeper against their opponents and not pushing their own high lines up enough. And that's because we've become a league that's full of transition. And again, I don't actually mind that. I like it. I understand that people are in Europe. This is the irony. We're going to play an Anthony Gordon clip in a minute. or we're playing the second, where he breaks down the difference, and people are going, "Oh yeah, so in Europe, proper football is being played." What you mean, the same Europe that Arsenal were dominating? So you're saying Arsenal are killing the Prem? Yeah, because they're long throw set pieces. Yet European football's proper football, and Arsenal have been better, I would say, footballing wise in that than they have been the Premier League. I don't get why Arsenal are being attacked for the league being boring when it's the opponents that are sitting back. I love what Man United did the other day, because if you open up against this Arsenal team for too long a periods in the game, you're going to get spanked. Bayern Munich, Inter Milan are proof of that. I don't understand the attack. But more importantly for me than that, and this is more important, Cal, and I've been saying this for years, and I'll continue to say it, and I'll continue to push it, and I'll continue to think this. The more we push these agendas, and at the moment it's typically against Arsenal, but I said the same thing last year when defending Liverpool about they're only winning it because it's a bad league. The same as everyone going, "Oh, City just buy the league." So listen, if you're a big club like Man United or Liverpool and Arsenal or Chelsea, you've got to be very careful throwing those accusations around, because we all spent money. But even more importantly than that, what Scholesy has done here is damage some of his own legacy. What City fans joining in are doing is damaging some of their own legacy. And this is what's always, I told everybody this is what was going to happen. And everyone's jumping on this because Carragher said the same thing. No team of the year players. Isn't it weird how the mainstream people are all suddenly saying the same thing? As if their producers are not telling them to say it. I want to show you a few things. Right? I want to show you a few bits and pieces here. And these are crazy. Okay. So 1996, Manchester United won the Premier League. Okay. But that Manchester United team didn't have a single forward in the team of the year. In fact, that team had one player in the team of the year in Gary Neville. Okay. You go forward to 1997, Man United won the league. No forwards in the team of the year. That was a back-to-back winning and a double winning team from 96. Yes, Beckham's in the team and Keane's in the side, and we have Gary Neville in the side, but no forward players in the team. In 2003, Manchester United won the league. Scholesy was in the team of the year, but that was it. Man United had one player in it. Okay. You then fast forward to 2014. City won the league, but the forwards in this were all Liverpool. The most attacking midfield player in that team, Hazard, was Chelsea, and Lallana, who at the time was Southampton. Well, was that a bad team? 2001 City winning team. Not a single member of the forward line was from City. My point is, I'm not even a big fan of teams of the year or the player awards. I've always found them to be flawed. United won a treble, and Ginola won best player in the Premier League that year. Didn't make any sense to me. Ever since then, I've not taken it seriously. But let's play in their world for a minute. We're gonna start to see more and more of this, where we're going to start undoing our own team's legacies. No one said that City team was bad because none of their attackers were in the team of the year. Nobody said any of these Man United teams were bad because we had none of the front players in the team of the year. No one ever said this, Cal. And this is what I'm pushing back against a lot of the time right now. What I'm pushing back against is these nonsense narratives that if we allow them to become established and all agree with them and they become the consensus, you then start going back. And I think we end up damaging some of our own legacy. When we start lying to score points now, no disrespect, but fuck Arsenal. I don't even mean this in a horrible way. Arsenal are not important enough for me to hurt my own club's legacy over. I'm just going to say they're a very good team. Are they the greatest Premier League team of all time? Right now, I'd say no. Let's see what they go and win this year. If they do a quad, we're going to have a different conversation.
Yeah, of course.
But that's highly unlikely. But this is what annoys me. We end up damaging our own club's legacies because we want to attack them. We end up looking stupid by saying European football's where it's at. Oh, what, the same Arsenal at the top of that, unbeaten, conceded 2 goals.
Five English teams sitting in the top 8 as of right now.
Yeah. People may not enjoy the way we play football in the Prem now, and that's fair. I actually find it really exciting. You absorb and you're going to counter. I like counter fighters. When I watch the UFC, I love someone that can counter punch. I love someone that can suck. Yes, Wyatt, forget his behavior outside the octagon. I don't want to get into that with people. It's what I loved about Conor McGregor when he broke through. He wasn't the aggressor and the swimmer. It was just he waited, bang, and he hit him. Michael Venom Page. A friend of mine. I just love it. I love the counter. I love the way those people fight. I love that part of football. I love the directness. And it's fine that other people don't. But the idea that there's no quality in England, the Champions League proves otherwise, right?
Yeah. precisely. And again, it's weird because last season a lot of Arsenal fans were like, "Oh, you're only winning the league because we fell off," and City fell off, and it was a rubbish league. And now they're sitting there going, "Well, why is everyone getting on to us saying it's a rubbish league?" Because you kind of pushed the narrative last season. So, and again, I said this last season. I was like, whether it's a rubbish league or not, we're still the best. Whoever wins the league is the best team in the league. And us as fans, we got to do a better job of not being as tribalistic sometimes, because I do think it does make us fall in love with different narratives and agendas, and then it ends up coming back to bite us. And look, how many years have Liverpool fans gone, "Oh, City just spend money"? Bro, you saw me in the summer, bro. You saw me when we were spending money. You saw me,
bruv. But I was just to push back to those Liverpool fans before this summer and say, well, you guys outspent Fergie's United in the Premier League era. Yet you'll get Liverpool fans siding with City fans on Sky when they say, yeah, but Fergie just bought the league and outspent everybody else. No, he didn't. Full high spender in the entirety of the Premier League. But people forget his first 15 years at the club, and that includes rebuilding it from the ashes, winning as many Prems from his first league title win in 92, 93, up until 2001. Won nearly every single Premier League in that period. Arsenal got one of them, and Blackburn got one of them. We won all the rest in that 8-9 year period. Did the double, so 2 doubles, which was massive back then as an achievement, and the treble on the first Premier League three-peat, and was only the 10th highest spender in the league. 9 other teams spent more than Man United in that period.
In the 90s, and Liverpool might have been top spenders in the 90s.
You were one of the highest, and that's why I say to Liverpool fans, look, guys, don't throw that accusation around, because it's only going to make you look silly in the future. You end up damaging. I said to Arsenal fans all of last season, the league isn't going to go from being the worst quality ever to the best ever in the space of a summer. Yeah. You're only going to undermine what you might achieve next year by being bitter today. And it used to be fun. It used to just be fans saying it. We'd go, ha, 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 we'd move on. The problem is now the mainstream media are copying fan content. So I employ fans to do as less mainstream media work as possible, especially if they're telling you the BBC wanted me on last year to do a thing about the new stadium. And they were saying, we need you to fight for like taxpayers' money to build it. I said, I can't do that. I said, why? You're happy about the stadium? I said, yes, but it's been confirmed by the club, the local MPs and national government that no taxpayer money will build the stadium. Taxpayer money is being used to do the new roads and the train stations and the housing and the businesses, which is what taxpayer money should be used for. Yeah. They said, yes, but we want someone to argue as if it is good if taxpayer money is on it. I said, but why would we argue that when it's not even on the table? It's not happening. I mean, yeah, but that's what we want to debate. And I'm not going on the show. Like, don't do mainstream media if they're saying to you, we need you to do this angle. It's all a fucking setup. Yeah. Don't do that. Unless you can speak completely freely, do it. And I even say this to the mainstream. If you've got fans on there being salty, it is funny, laugh, but then correct people for their mistakes. Fergie spent more than anyone in the first decade of the Prem. You can't just let that be said and say nothing. And that's my issue with a lot of this stuff now, is that banter's becoming like not just currency, but it's almost becoming the serious talking points. And I think it's dangerous for the game, mate. But Cal, always a pleasure to sit and speak. How do you think? Well, look, you guys are going to be okay tonight, aren't you? You got carrier bag. You'll be fine.
Yeah, we should be fine.
You should be fine. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we're back later today with Straight Facts at 3:30 with Mo and Hassan, where we're going to do a full deep dive into the Champions League games ahead of tonight, plus looking into the title race as well. I want to thank you all for tuning in to myself and Cal today. Guys, get yourself across the Coppish, the best Liverpool fan channel there is. So get across to it. And it's so much fun that they're always crying. So get over there. It's the best season to watch it. It's the best. Last year was awful. This year is honestly, it's the best season ever on Coppish TV. So everybody take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we're going to see you all again very, very soon. Bye-bye.